By the time television came along, BBC News on radio was already a long-established and trusted source of information. To begin with, television viewers had to make do with the newsreel, which showed what it called interesting events from around the world. It certainly wasn't news. But the way these films were made was to influence the birth of TV news. So let me take you back in time to 1953. Here's the presenter, Edward Halliday, explaining how the newsreels were made.
Yes, I know it's unusual to break into the title like that. But then this isn't going to be a newsreel, although I'm sitting at the same microphone that I use every day when I'm speaking the newsreel commentaries. No, this time I'm here because I've been asked to tell you a bit about the newsreel itself and about the people who make it. The newsreels of 1952 are now in tins. They've just been sent away for storage. That's the destination of each newsreel after you've seen it. But this is the story of how it all begins, of what happens before you see it. The first step is a daily news conference with the newsreel manager, whom you've just seen. In addition to spot news, here is decided what should be filmed, where and when. Details are checked, plans made, camera crews briefed. And from the interior of Alexandra Palace, the scene moves outside. So plans are turned into pictures. Sometimes the cameramen work singly, other times as a team, cameraman and sound man. Together they record sound and picture just as it happens. Their assignments take the cameramen to all sorts of places, often difficult, sometimes dangerous. One of them, Noble, took his camera last year to the top of the Forth Bridge to join the painters at work. For these pictures, you may remember, another cameraman, Lewis, climbed high in Snowdonia. It's not only at home that the cameramen work. Nearly all of them were filming abroad at some time last year. Charles de Jager, for instance, took his camera to Africa, from Cape Town through Central Africa to the Sudan. And then there is Korea, from where our team Page and Mann have been sending us the stories of the Commonwealth Division, and how, for example, they spent Christmas.
Right, I'm going to call upon Corporal Huckster, who is the senior corporal in the squadron, to propose the Queen's health. Corporal Huckster.
Gentlemen, the Queen.
The Queen. The Queen.
At home, as well as abroad, all the film comes back to London, to the laboratories. It's another step on the way to your screen. And this is the scene day and night, as thousands of feet of film are processed. From the laboratories, the stories come back to Alexandra Palace. Thousands of feet of film. From now on, the inside staff take over. This is where the newsreel is shaped. It's up to the producer and his staff how each day's edition is made up, how it's to look in its final form on your screen. And next, in our own small cinema, all the news films that come into Alexandra Palace are seen. The film is projected onto the normal cinema screen. But it's not at all as you finally see it, for we see the rushes, as we call them, all out of sequence and in negative. For instance, this is how we first saw the Monte Carlo Rally. And this is what the headlights look like at night. And this is how we saw the Empress of Canada as she lay burning in Liverpool docks this week. Now the film has been seen, it can be cut. The team of editors take over. Piece by piece, foot by foot, the rushes are inspected, selected, or rejected. The newsreel is taking shape. Foot by foot, it's checked on a miniature screen, half the size of a postcard. In this way, the scenes that best tell the story are chosen from the rushes. Bit by bit, the pieces are joined together, this time in their final sequence as a complete story. And while all this is going on, other specialized jobs are in hand. The newsreel titles, for example, are set out letter by letter, ready for filming. The writers begin to work out the commentaries that will go with the films. At their hand are BBC reports from all over the world. The sound editors start on their job, preparing the music and effects that will go with each newsreel story. The job is nearly done. We all meet in the recording theatre. We, the commentators, the producer, the writers, and the recordists. The commentaries are checked with any late piece of news that may have just come in to add to the story. We take our places, ready to put the newsreel into its final shape. Nearly always, there are other commentators beside myself. Frank Phillips on this occasion. All the time, it's a race against the clock. These are the last few minutes. The film is projected, I speak the commentaries, the technicians record them with the other sounds. This is one edition of television newsreel. This is the soundtrack, and this is the picture. In fact, these two rolls of film are the end product that is turned out 5 times a week by all those people you've just seen. And this bit seems to be the end.